Good morning. Today I'm going to show you how to can beans using the no soak method using the Nesco electric pressure canner. I've got my black beans measured out. You use half a cup per pint. Salt, 1/4 teaspoon. You're going to need this funnel, some vinegar, and a jar lifter. Okay, so you don't rinse your beans until right before you're about to pack them because you don't want them to expand or it throws the measurements off. So I've rinsed them with warm water, and now I'm going to get my jars out of the dishwasher so they're nice and hot and clean and ready to go. Okay, so I've got my jar out, funnels in, you throw in your half a cup dry beans. Then you're going to put in a half a teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon is how much I like to use. Salt. Then I have hot water. I use my tea kettle. And you want to fill it up to 1-inch headspace. That's 1 inch from the top, which is about that bottom lip right there. And then you're going to de-bubble, which is when you take this out. You can give it like a little tap to get the air out. Okay, sorry, I didn't have my spatula. So I like to use a little rubber spatula. As you can see, when you do this, all the little bubbles come out to the top. Tap, tap, tap. Then I use a paper towel, a little bit of white distilled vinegar, dip it in, give it a squeeze so it's not dripping, and you just want to wipe the rim. Make sure it's clean. Sorry about that. I'm trying to do this with one hand. You're going to keep your lids and your rings in some warm water, not all the way boiling. Once it starts to get like the little dots, I turn the heat off because you don't want to melt the rubber seal all the way, but you do want it to be warm and hot. You just place the lid, and then you take the band and you put it on just fingertip tight, which means as soon as the jar starts to turn, that's done. You don't want it too tight because you want the air to escape. And you don't want it too loose or it won't hold it down enough to where it seals. Now we've opened the canner lid and we have 8 cups hot water. The little metal rack at the bottom, we're going to use our jar lifter. You pick up your jar and you set it inside. And this Nesco pressure canner can hold 5 pint jars. So I'll be right back when I've done all 5. Okay, so I have my pressure gauge set to exhaust. All the jars are in there. I'm gonna lock it to close. I pushed high, time 75 minutes, and then I just push start. It's gonna do the digital chase until it builds up enough pressure. And so as you can see, the steam is pouring out of the top. It just beeped and it says E10, that stands for exhaust. It's going to count down from 10 minutes, and as soon as it hits E0, it will beep again, and when that happens, I need to come up here and carefully use my finger to move this dial to move it to where the arrow is pointing at the airtight position, and then it will count down 75 minutes of processing time. Okay, so now it's at E0 and it beeped. I'm going to go up here and carefully switch this to airtight. And in just a few seconds or minutes, depends, it'll go back to the right pressure and it will start counting down from 75 minutes. And when the 75 minutes is done, we will do absolutely nothing for an hour and a half until it reaches 0 pressure. You don't want to open the lid or anything until it's been at least like an hour and a half. Okay, so it's been an hour and a half exactly. And as you can see, if I wiggle this at all, nothing comes out. There's no sound. That means there's no pressure. I like to unlock the lid and open it. Some people leave it open for a couple minutes, or they'll kind of open it a little and just kind of like let it sit for a few minutes before they take their jars out. there's a little steam that came out. So I'll probably wait a couple minutes and then take them out. Okay. So I just heard a ding. Here they are. This is what they look like. You take them out, set them down, and don't disturb them for 24 hours, and then you can take the rings off, store them